there, everyone. Welcome to Peale. Doing a hips, spines, and back bend practice today. However long it takes, at least an hour. We will be here stretching and taking care of ourselves. So we'll start with our comfortable sit here. Cross leg of some kind. Tall spine, eyes closed. It's a humid day today, so I expect some perspiring to happen, and probably my hair will start curling even more. Happens. So we'll just soften the face. And here we'll take the hands to heart center, prepare for one Om, big breath. Namaste. All the way flat. On your mats, legs long, arms long. Resting here. So here we'll start with a nice crescent move. Let the legs move over to the right side of your mat, torso as well. Take the arms up, right hand catch the left wrist, just a gentle tug. Long stretch for the left side body, hold here. Other side. So remove the legs, over to the left, torso left, left hand catch right wrist, gentle tug. Coming back to center, we just grow long here. Long fingers, long legs, long toes, long spine. Knees into the belly. Let the legs fall to your right for a twist. You start to find a little less sensation, you can perhaps stagger your legs, either with the right knee high or right knee low, left knee high. You choose. I'm going to take left knee high. I feel like I'm a little twisted in my pelvis as of late. Ready for the other side, switch. Legs to the side. This is the side I feel that's more affected. So all that we can do is breathe. We observe our bodies as we move through space and time with no judgment. Same thing here, you can have the left knee high or low. I'm going to go low and just help my right knee perhaps get lower to the earth. Just stay here. A few more breaths. center with knees into the belly. Start moving through half of a happy baby. Left foot down, right up. Catch foot, press down towards the earth. Feels pretty good. You can start to release the left leg straight down. Still feels good. We'll extend the leg off in the right. You can hold on to any part of the leg here that you like. I'm holding underneath the leg heel. You can also hold big toe and just pull down. You can catch the top of the heel and press down. This all depends on your level of flexibility and what feels good for you. Back for a hip stretch. So we'll bring our leg bent and in towards our torso. Bring the left leg up to hold the right one. Hip stretch here. Thread through. And from here, we're actually going to rock ourselves up, keeping the same shape of the legs. Let your left leg internally rotate, bring your foot to the hip. You can keep now a half lotus is what the right leg turns into. Right? You can pull it up a little bit higher. It's quite early for a half lotus, so maybe you want to drop the foot down, right? So here we're just going backwards for a nice stretch of the thigh. So take breath, send this back. So your back may be simply hands, it might be elbows, or maybe you can come all the way flat. More breath. Start to make your way up. Inhale up, exhale. Let's take a little fold forward to the hands, to the elbows, head. Inhale, we grip the chest. Exhale, unravel the right foot. I'm coming up onto the right foot and leg, sliding back into a nice little lunge on the knee. So again, I'm taking just all the movements that I can to find as much space as possible. So from here, before I come up and take a low lunge, we're going to take a wing dragon first. So we don't change where our heel is. So the foot is not going to change where it is, which is in front of the hip. But the toes on the right foot, we're going to pick up and point the toes to the right. So wherever the knee, the toes point, the knee hopefully follows in the same direction. So now my leg is winged off to the side, come down in the center to the elbows and hands. You can even slide a little bit further back if that's within your capabilities. Back leg, you can bend the tail, point the toes up in the air. notice if you're resisting the lower back, that's pulling up, right? You wanna push hips forward. Maybe it's time for you to catch the back foot, go in. Woo. Inhale, we release. Up to the hands and the knee, so now the toes on the right foot, we want to point back forward. Find yourself ready for a low lunge. Prepare, interlace the fingers, come up, inhale up. Exhale, hands, split the front foot, tuck the back toes, so the right leg is going to move off to the side, half of a frog split, all the way flat. So we're taking a little bit of a back bend here onto the elbows. And you want to check in with that same stretch of the back leg, bend, point the toes up, see what's going on there. Brings in the lower back a little bit. So you may not actually like the sensation, and if you don't, of course, just straighten the leg. It's all good. So you can keep your tail in the back or extend it. We're going to come up for a cobra spine. Plant the hands, inhale, rise up. Just take pause here. So you shouldn't be here, right? This is more like a seal. We want to bring the shoulders back and down, away from the ears, picking the sternum. Sternum is here. Heart. Lift higher. Head back. Work your back bend. Hip stretch going on both legs. Release the back leg. Come up to extended leg on the right. Here we come down to elbows or reach forward. We're melting heart. Remember to open up your throat. Chin touches the earth. It's good today. Inhale, we come up to the hands. Exhale, sit back on the 1 foot, pull the right foot in. So here we're going to take a nice forward fold on the inside of the right leg. Reach the right arm up, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. So you can stay here with your forward fold or the first shoulder bind. Internally rotate, catch, yeah. Same with the left arm. Left hand catches right, drop the head down, hold here. Start to unravel. Find yourself in box. Inhale, unravel. Exhale, hands and knees. Cow and cat. Inhale's the back bend. Cow. Exhale, cat. Like Halloween cat. Heavy hands. Inhale. Exhale. And again, inhale. Exhale. Neutral spine, find plank. Tuck the toes, inhale. Chaturanga, exhale. Shoulders back at the bottom. Inhale, rise up. Where are the shoulders? Behind the ears. Heart is lifting. Head drops back. Take high cobra or upward facing, your choice. Press into the earth with the hands. Downward facing. So our downward facing is going to bring us back down to the earth for the left side. So high up onto the toes, lift, bend into the knees, hips to heels. Knees aren't touching. Come down to the earth, so just a little float kinda through, back onto your spine. Give yourself a hug here, knees into the belly. So prepare for left side. Right foot down to the earth, left one. Reach up and catch, pull or press down. Half of a happy baby. Still feels good. Just let the right leg be long and down towards the earth. Still feels good. Left leg extend left. And remember, hand any place of the foot. You can go more Ashtanga here, catch the big toe. You can move underneath the heel or on top. I'm going to go on top. I think that's what I did on the other side. So our left leg, we bend, bring back towards the torso. The right leg comes up to hold the left one. We thread through for a hip stretch here. So this hip stretch rocks up to sitting. Right leg internally rotates, pointed foot in the back. And again, still kind of early for the half lotus, so just let the foot drop down. We're going backwards to stretch out the hip flexor. On the right, deep breath, and just go back. Remember, your back, maybe hands or elbows, you may not be able to get flat, and it's absolutely fine. It's just something to work towards. Make sure you breathe. Make your way up. Inhale up. Exhale, fold forward. Little counter pose, folding. Hands or elbows or head. Inhale, we pick the head, left leg. We come over to the right side so that we can release our left leg to the foot, then slide back. So forward to hands and just slide back into your pose. Leave the hands on the earth. Okay, so from this lunge on the knee, we move into wing dragon. So the toes in the front, only the toes point and move. The heel stays exactly where it is. You know what the heel of your foot is. So come back a little, pick up the toes. Only point the toes left. The knee will follow the toes, turns this into a winged dragon. From there you can slide even more back, as in your practice, and come down to elbows and hands. You want to bend the tail in the back? Go right ahead. Watch the resistance. That's the lower back trying to go away. Keep pressing forward. Catch the foot if you're going. Opposite hand. Ooh, I need this stretch. Inhale, we release. Up to the hands. Exhale, turn. Toes in the front forward. We take lunge on the knee. Interlace it up. Exhale, hands, split the front foot. I'm going to scoot back forward. I'm coming off my mat here. So hands come down, tuck back toes. Front leg goes out and 90-degree angle. So I have half of a frog. Split on the left. Snake spine or cobra on the right. Take the elbows down, palms flat. So I have a little sphinx here. All kinds of poses and names. We're working our back bend and hip space. And again, if you like the tail bent, go ahead and take the tail up. Brings in the lower back a little bit more, especially if we're higher up, which we'll get there in a moment or two. Alright, so we're coming up to the hands to pick up the spine a little bit taller. The tail and the back keep bent or long. You go by what you feel for your body and your practice. Plant the hands, rise up. So remember, this is incorrect, right? Shoulders, your ears should not touch your shoulders. Back, down, lift the sternum, heart up, drop head, back, stretch. It's a whole front body stretch. Press the hands into the earth. From here we tuck the chin, release our tail, extend the left leg to the left. Here we're just coming back for back bend. More. Melting heart. Reach forward, heart down. Move your chin out of the way. Keep lengthening your neck. Feels good. And then we start to pull back. Inhale, we pull back, sitting on our right foot. We pull the left leg in. Coming in for a fold on the inside of the leg and possible shoulder bind on this side. So inhale, extend, left arm up, fold inside, exhale. And again, you can stay here. It's all good, feels good. Or catch leg, internal rotation, catch, internal rotation, catch hand, take breath, drop the head down. So remember throughout the practice, when we move right and left, if we have a pose that is right and left, pay attention to how you feel with each pose. So you'll know right and left because you'll have maybe one leg doing something and the other one doing something. If it's something like that, the leg's doing two different things, you're probably going to have another side, right? But if the legs are doing exactly the same thing, we may or may not come back to that pose again. All right, inhale, unravel, come up. Exhale, box, hands and knees. So again, with the cow and the cat, inhale, cow. Like this one, we came to it again, right? Exhale, cat. We didn't necessarily have to because we did it already, but it feels good, so we're going to. Inhale. Exhale. One more, inhale. Exhale. Alright, from here, plank. Inhale, plank. Tuck the toes, extend. Chaturanga. Rise up. Inhale. Shoulders back and down. Heart lift, head back. Tuck chin, tuck toes. Downward facing dog. Alright, from here we bring the feet together. Inhale, right knee, right armpit, foot steps outside of the hand, front leg bends, going right into lizard. So hips push forward, chest lift, right? Not resist. We're trying to push through. Tail in the back is long. Front leg extend, inhale, extend front leg. You can keep your the arms strong or release down to the elbows. You're only going to release down to the elbows if the two legs can stay completely straight. Nothing changes with the legs. I have more that I can do. Take it down. Bend back into the front knee. Drop the back one. Okay. So we're going to bind our tail or catch our tail. Opposite hand again. You can move up, inhale, and back and catch. Or you can go through the leg under here. You choose. I'm going to see if I can go through today. Yeah. Hold here for 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, release. Up to the hands, right leg. Exhale, extend to the back. So I'm in a box. I pull my hands back underneath the shoulders. I'm in a box with one leg extended. Take the opposite arm forward. We're here to catch the foot. So bind your foot and take another back bend. Kick in. Ooh la la. Let the leg take you in the pose. Strong leg, pulls on the arm, eyes up. And soften. Hand down, leg comes through. Tuck the back toes, pick up the knee, full lunge. So same thing here. Here's resistance, right? Ooh la la, can't do it. Try to push the hips as best you can. Notice the lower spine. Probably the back leg is going to be resisting you from being super straight. We do our best. Find the balance. Pull the belly in. Let's take the pose. Inhale. Exhale, hands. Split the front foot, back toe. Step to the front of the mat. Flat back lift. Inhale. Fold. Shoulder opener. So we're going to take a bind with the hands behind the back. Interlace the fingers, right? So here, keep the palms together. So we're going to move up the arm, right? So now extend out the elbows, right? Bring the shoulder blades together. Bring the chin into the chest. Make room for the arms to relax and release. Hold here. For 3, pull the belly in. 2. And 1, release the hands down to the earth. So gently soften, bring the head up, all the way up standing. Lean back, little back bend at the top. Inhale up. And Namaste. Let's lengthen out our side bodies. You can leave the feet together or get some space. I'm going to get a little space. With the right hand, push hip, so catch the actual hip bone with the hand. Push hips left while you're leaning, torso and arm, left arm right. Hold here. Come back to center. We'll take the other side, same thing. So left hand, catch, whole hip, bone. Push the hip right. Lean. The right leg super straight. Inhale up, exhale, release. So I'm already ready for the next pose, but if you had your feet together, go hip width distance with your feet. Toes, point them out. Okay. Take breath. Hips, sink down all the way, all the way, all the way. Elbows, insides of the knees, press out. Both. Hands, prayer hands, heart center. Lift chest. Hips, inner thigh, groin area, ankles, feet. Hands down, extend legs, inhale, close the heels. So if you used to be a ballet dancer, this would look exactly like ballet first, because it is. So from here, we're taking our knees off to the side, so it's actually called Master Malasana. They don't actually have the feet like this, they're more feet forward. But it's a little bit gentler on your knees, especially if you're not used to these type of poses, to have your knees and toes point the same direction. So my knees and toes, some are going right, some are going left, which that's what they're supposed to do. And we let the hips drop down. So I'm on the elbows, and I feel like I have a little bit more space that I can work with. So my arms, I'm just going to internally rotate them, get them out of the way. Drop my forehead down. So this pose, this Master Malasana, actually has a bond up the back. I can't take that pose. I have too much hip and thigh. So I'm just kind of holding on or binding my hands together however I can. Hands to the earth. Extend the legs, find a flat back. Flat back is a nice counter pose. On the exhale, left leg is going to step way, way back. Don't adjust where the toes point on the right foot. Leave them going right. But send the left leg way back like lunge. Then bend forward like we did before. Remember the winged dragon, but this time we have no knee down. We have straight leg. Try to come down to elbows or head. Deep hip stretch. Woo! And then from here we let the back and knee rest. We come up to the hands, inhale hands. So first thing I'm going to do is front leg. Yeah. So I take my right hand to the outside of the right leg, extend the front leg. So if I just slide, I'm going to be forward with the leg, follow the leg. I'll be in Hanumanasana. Might be a little early for Hanumanasana. So we're going to take lizard. We're going to let our leg go right. So my left leg hasn't changed. It's still straight, parallel to the long edge, side edge of my mat. My right leg, however, is on a right diagonal with the top right corner of my mat. So I'm in a lizard split. Hands I have on the inside of my right leg. Stay here with the hands, or work a bit of a back bend here. The back bend, let your back leg get more stretch. So make sure you're not going from the lower back bend. You're pulling your pelvis as one unit, pulling the pelvis back for the back bend. So I'm starting my back bend with my hip bones. And release, hands in the front, tuck the back toes. So from here, we're going to flip our lizard. So the right leg is going to take a little flip behind our back. So we pull into the belly, make sure you tuck the back toes, pull into the belly, flip, drop behind. So here comes wild thing. Reach. Hips up, front body stretch, head drop back. Strong arm on the earth. Let the hips come all the way down. So here, I'm already ready for some kind of Vinyasa, right? So we've already taken out one variation of Vinyasa earlier when we took our forward folded bind. We're going to take the same thing. This will be called Vinyasa A. The other one was a variation of an advanced Marichi. So same arm as leg, grow tall. Inside of the leg, exhale. Internally rotate, catch leg. Other one, internally rotate, catch hand. Take breath and fold. Inhale, pick up the chest, unravel. Exhale, flip back over to half pigeon. So first the hands, use the right leg to push, knee into the belly with the right side, drop down to the shin, slide everything back, take a breath, and voila, there you are. Oh. Wonderful stretch. So this one may also have resistance too. You may notice your lower back is riding up. Yeah, just keep heavy on your front leg. Alright, we're going to catch our tail in the back. More hips, this time left side. Alright, inhale, we come up to the hands. Exhale, reach same arm as leg. Left hand back to catch left foot. So you can stay here. This might be enough stretch or pull. Alright, so this is an amazing hip flexor stretch, but we've taken this quite a few times at this point. So you already know what it feels like. But each time we take it, you should feel more and more space, right? That's the point. Alright, so we can take a bind here. So our left foot into the left elbow. Let the fingers point up. So this may simply be kind of your first place. Maybe it's put the hand behind the back. At least this is the right rotation for the arm. Or we reach back and we catch bind here. Try to lift the head up. Be mindful of your shoulders. So for those of you who have a pretty good back bend, or just simply want to give it a try, you have another option, another place to go here, which is Ekapada Raja Kapodasana. Left foot's going to touch the back of your head. You're going to be in a back bend. So now your foot, we dorsiflex the foot, right? Toes are pointing down on the left side. And then our hand, we, right, that's external rotation. This will be in, this is external. Reach back to catch the foot underneath. So I'm kind of wrapping the big toe. And from here, up, right, here's a back bend. Good shoulder stretch too. Then we reach the head back to the foot. With one hand or two. And release. That's serious. So inhale, we come up to the back knee. Front leg is half Hanuman. All right, I'm kind of on a tripod directly on top of my left thigh. So you can stay here, work a fold on top of the front leg. For those who have more to give, now it's time to check in with Hanumanasana, monkey split. Deep hip opener, hamstring too. So we shift forward. We have both of our legs parallel to the long edges, side edges of our mat. And from here, there's that same opportunity for a leaning back or a back bend, but you got to start with the pelvis again. Pelvis, pelvis. Okay, and then guess what? For those of you who might be in monkey split, you got the same binds that we just did with our half pigeon that you can bring in here. Bend, catch, pull in, go for the hip space. That's an incredible stretch in this moment. Take the bind, mermaid, or take the foot to the head. So hard to balance. Very hard to balance. Woo! And release. Pull back, child's pose. Let's rest the spine. So make a rounded shape, head down. Oi. Rock a little bit side to side. Prepare for Vinyasa. Plank, inhale. Chaturanga, exhale. Rise up, inhale. Downward facing, exhale. Woo! All right, feet together. Inhale, left knee, left armpit, foot outside, lizard. Hips push. So remember where the resistance is. It's lower back, trying to go bye-bye, go away, or come up. Let the hips sink down, so it's kind of more like a back bend. Back leg is long and straight, no touch earth. Not yet. We try to stay up. All right, front leg extend, flex the toes up. So remember, you can stay here or come down to the elbows. We only come down to the elbows if we can keep both legs straight. Woo! All right, up to the hands, inhale, bend into the front knee, back down, exhale. So now, we're going to take our lizard tail up in the air and reach back and catch. So either here or here. You choose. Inhale, we release up to the hands. Front leg, we extend to the back of the room. Pull the hands back, so back into a box with the hands underneath the shoulders, the knee underneath the right hip and thigh. Then from there, we take opposite arm, right arm forward just to catch the foot. Back bend, bind, and a back bend. Plus hips all at the same time. Inhale, kick in. Don't resist the leg, eyes up. Hand down to the earth, knee into the belly, nose to knee, plant the foot. Tuck the back toes, pick up the knee. So now, we're in full lunge. Be prepared to take this pose. Find your balance, interlace the fingers, up. Hands, split the front foot, we step, top of the mat, feet together, flat back lift, and fold. So we take a bind behind the back. So here the hands are behind the back, palms together, interlace the fingers, and we move up the arm. Extend under the elbows, shoulder blades come together, chin into the chest, relax your neck, long legs, long spine, long arms, lots of space here. Hold, breathe. All right, releasing the arms. Head up, all the way up. Lean back, back bend at the top. And Namaste, heavy. Space in between the feet. Hip width space or not, whatever you did on the other side. It's been a minute, so I don't quite know what you did. All right, so left hand to the hip bone, reach. So push the hips right, and we reach away. And we come up, other side. Push the hips left, lean right. Inhale, we come up. Exhale, we are here. Okay. So the last time we were here, we took Malasana with hip width space feet. Now we're going to go even wider. So let the heels go out and the toes point out. So now my heels are pretty much on the outer edges, lines of my mat. Take breath. Hips drop down. So this is a wider Malasana. I'm going to leave my hands on the earth. This is quite challenging for me. Why? I do not know. I haven't explored that yet. Oh my goodness. Okay. And take hand for the heart. Woo! That's a stretch. Alright, Master Malasana, hands down, extend the legs. Thankfully, flat back, heels together. Exhale. So again, we're back to that ballet first. So we make sure the knees and the toes are pointing the same direction, which is right and left, right? Drop down to elbows. I feel, of course, quite a bit more open at this point. We've done quite a lot for hips and shoulders and back bending and all this stuff. So I'm going to take my arms until I rotate again. I'm going to see if I can catch hands. I'm going to take opposite hand to one foot, let the other one catch the elbow. So I have my left hand to my right ankle and my right hand to my left elbow. I'm getting my nose down or my mouth and chin. So it's a lot on the lower spine. You gauge if it feels right. It may not feel right for you yet. And I'm going to change my bind here because we're not going to come back to this one again. So now my right hand catches the left ankle and my left hand catches the right elbow. All right. Hands down, extend. Woo. Flat back. The left leg is going to remain here. The right leg steps way back to the toe, like a lunge. Don't change the pointing direction of your toes. So I'm in big winged dragon. Drop down to the elbows here, slide back, drop down to head, whatever you have. That's a lot of stretch. Woo! All right. My tail needs to drop down in the back. It's too much. Woo! All right. Inhale up to the hands. So here we're moving into the hip of the left side, hip and the hamstring of the left side. So we come up. Oh. So instead of going forward with the leg, I'm going to go off to the left. So I'm just going to move my hands on the inside of the left leg and let my left leg go left into lizard split. And then work a back bend. So back bend starts with the pelvis. Got to pull the pelvis with you, not just folding into the lower back. That's compression and not good. Bad things can happen. So whatever you're going to do here, this is my more challenging stretch to get out of, to find space. Okay. And release. We plant the hands, tuck the back toes. So here comes your flip. So now the left leg is going to move behind the back and find the earth. So we pull into the belly, hips come up, pulls on the leg, find the hands on the earth, and drop all the way back down. We push hips up into our wild thing. Inhale up. Strong hips, strong right arm, front body stretch, and hips all the way back down. So again, we're in a possible Marichiasana, right? A. So we're going to take it. Bring the left leg closer to hip, not inner thigh, hip. Extend the left arm up, reach forward, exhale inside of the leg, internally rotate, catch. Same with the right hand catches left, take breath and fold. Unravel, inhale up. Exhale, we're over to plank, knee to the belly, half pigeon. Chin down, slide back, take breath. Let it go. Heavy on top of the front leg. So where's the resistance going to be here? More than likely against the lower back. Hips try to retreat, so the back would be moving up, or rounding up or away, or trying to tuck the pelvis under to get out of the hip flexor stretch. And probably the glute stretch also on the left side. All right, so we have more binding and hips on the right leg this time. So inhale, we come up to the hands. Exhale, reach right hand back to catch right foot. So this might be it. Or in. This stretch is serious. Especially if you're a righty. Well, you've already felt this by now. But it's very strong. It takes a lot to get this hip flexor group open, at least for me. Okay, so we have bind that we can take here. Mermaid. And has a Sanskrit name, but I can't think of it right now. So foot on the inner elbow, hand is up. So this hand is ready to catch the left one. So it might be just let me touch palm to the back, right? It's a broken bind, but at least it's moving in the right direction, right? Or reach back, catch, and then try to lift the head up. Hold here. Okay. So we have another place that we can go for those who have a pretty close bind, more room in this bind, and also a good back bend. Ekapada Raja Kapadasana, 1 foot king pigeon. So we flex, dorsiflex the right foot, externally rotate, this is internally rotate, externally rotate the hand to catch the foot. Then here, I have elbow is up, and we bring the foot to the back of the head. Not a very good bind. One hand or two. And release. Okay. So from here, you know what's coming next. If you don't, it's Hanumanasana, monkey split. So we have half. Half is retreat, hips back. Front leg extended forward. So it's the front leg we stay with, hips high, and just fold on top of the front leg. If we're going in for front split or monkey split, Hanumanasana, slide. So we have both legs parallel to the long edges of our mat. And then we try our back bend here, pulling the pelvis up. All right. Remember, you have the same binds that we just did with our half pigeon. Actually, I think the Sanskrit name for half pigeon is also Ekapada Raja Kapadasana. Or just, yeah, I believe so. Okay, so right hand reaches back for right foot. Oh. Breathe. I'm thinking about it. Okay. Oh. Coming out of my mouth. This side, oh. It's amazing. You're seeing me in this pose. You're like, how is she in pain? I am. It's quite strong of a stretch. If I could do the same hip, bind, back bend practice every day, I would probably start to have a lot less soreness, as long as my patterns in the day, which would be sitting and all that kind of stuff, is not more than it is already. So then it would be counterproductive for this type of space, right? Think logically there. Okay, so let's see, can we bind? Maybe foot to the head again. Okay. I don't even want to let go. Oh, child's pose. Mommy. Oh, oh. Knees together. Oh yeah. Okay. Nice breath here. hold here a couple more breaths. I'm gonna check in with the time. I have no idea where we are. I need to start bringing a clock. Okay. Which is good, because my intuition, or my intuitive self, wants me to come down to my spine. So let's go there if you're ready. Just inhale, come up, and exhale down. Big hug of the knees. So we're going to come back to right leg crossed on top of the left one. Left foot, though, is going to step outside of the left side of your mat. Our knees are going to domino to the right. So if you just took a look at your left thigh, right, directly forward, so it is parallel to the long edges of your mat, not pointing any other direction, just parallel. My right side, of course, however, is pointing on a diagonal, which is how it's supposed to be. So my hips feel amazingly open in this moment. My lower back also. My spine feels free, right? I feel some kind of freedom. I want to say loosey-goosey, right? Something like that. That's kind of how it feels right now. So I'm going to keep going here to the right side. So unravel here, tuck in for fetal position on the right side. We're going to stretch out right arm, right chest and shoulder. So we pick up our torso. The right arm, we stretch behind us. So your arm is going to be moving away from me. And it's a direct straight line from your shoulders. If you happen to look, you can see your arm moving straight, right? So now perpendicular line or a parallel line to the short edge of your mat, right? So think of your arm as a parallel line to the short edge of your mat. Then from there, we bring our feet back to the mat and open the hips. So here you feel lower spine twist, of course, chest and shoulder on the right side. You can add butterfly pose here to get more space, right, in the hip, inner thigh and groin. If you have already a pretty decent amount of inner thigh space, you can go for more, which is an Upavishta, reverse Upavishta. So extend your right leg towards me and the left leg up in the air, and let the left hand carry the left leg left. So essentially you're getting more twist. I'm going to pick up my sternum a little bit to give me some more stretch out of my right shoulder. So we're trying to see if we can get this Upavishta, it's not going to happen for me today, how it looks when we were just resting on our backs. That would be a serious twist. All right, let's release, let go. Back onto your spine, knees into the belly. Woo. Left leg crossed on top of the right one. So here we have the right foot is now outside of the right side of the mat. And the knees are going to domino left. And again, if you take a look at your right thigh, it should be a straight line forward. So a parallel line with the long edge of your mat. Everything should be pointing the same direction. And then you just feel and breathe. interesting. I have a new playlist today. It's interesting. I believe this song is called Helicopter, and it sounds like a helicopter. It's so perfect. We do what we gotta do. All right, unravel fetal position on the left. Oh, okay. So here's our prep for left arm, chest, shoulder space, twist, and more hip space as well. So we pick ourselves up. So now left arm is going to point towards me, or wherever you're looking at me, and we drop down. So if I take a look at my arm should also be parallel to the short edge of my mat. Then from there, bring the feet back and open, right? So I have a butterfly here, so I'm staying with inner thigh and hips. I have already, I can tell, more space out of the shoulder and more twist. This seems to be a better twist for me. So I should be able to get my Upavisha for those who are going. It's here, right? Maybe deeper. Actually, the space is in my shoulder, I guess. Woo! Release whenever you're ready. Knees into the belly. Okay. So we have a bridge coming out. We have our last pose, back bend. So bridge is kind of a beginning stage wheel pose. So we start there, which is feet down, right? So either parallel feet, right, parallel with hips, or a little bit more space, toes point out. If you're moving out of the lower spine, then you're probably going to have the toes pointing out and more space in between your feet. Otherwise, I'm going to try just parallel feet. For what I can tell, they're parallel. And then hips push up, and I'm going to support, or see if I can push myself up higher with my hands. So the belly, you should be bringing in. Relax your neck. You're getting a long stretch there too. See, my chin is moving into the chest, yeah. So here, I'm going to see if I can move my hands to my mid spine and just help my rib cage and mid spine kind of find some more back bend. So I'm going to let my hips just release a little. And my hands are supporting my rib cage, supporting my spine. All right, I'm going to see if I can get it higher. Not sure. Little. Same stretch. Okay. Release. So if you're ready to go into your wheel, if you're taking one, go right ahead. If you're not going to try a wheel, then maybe come back to a bridge, but take the bind underneath. Yeah, press down. All right, so whenever you're ready, let's give our last pose and check-in. Whew. All right, here we go. So we tuck the hands under, we start at the top of the head. So here, I can gauge with how my front of the hips, belly, how everything feels. Plant the hands firmly into the earth. Keep the elbows pointing towards the back of the room. Extend. So you want the weight to go forward. Let me get my hands forward. I'm going to get a little bit more space in between my feet. Big stretch of the chest and the rib cage. Extending out of the elbow. Woo! Big stretch of the front body today. Come down. Take your counter of knees into the belly. Gladly, huh? We'll just let our legs take a left side twist. Woo. So I feel, all I can say is the word free keeps coming into my mind as a word to kind of explain how I feel. I feel like I've liberated my body today. Maybe I've come into a little kundalini energy from the spine. Legs to the other side. We also freed the hips today. Shoulders too. With the binding, my shoulders feel pretty open, especially in the back bend. I felt a lot more opening or stretches in my back bending in my shoulders that I don't know if I've experienced them at least that deeply. I haven't noticed them. I felt my spine was more back bendy. I didn't really move my feet closer to my hands. I just wanted to experience the pose as I had it in the moment because the shoulders were just something I'd never felt before. It wasn't bad. I felt like a really good long open space stretch, all that. Again, it's just that freedom word it's kind of what's coming to my mind. All right. So knees into the belly, legs long, arms long. Stay in Shavasana if you like, and just give yourself 3 to 5 breaths, because it's good to let everything kind of set, right? We opened up new spaces, some deep, deep, deep stretching we took today for the spine and the hips, and maybe for some of you, shoulders too. So sometimes we need to be in stillness and just breathe, and just let all those open spaces also breathe, and maybe have a new beginning place for us next time we come into similar movements, right? The similar hip spaces and the binds. Maybe we notice, okay, I have a new starting point, right? That's what we're trying to do, is keep moving the little line or the notch, whatever word you want, forward in space, and not into instability. Remember, there's that possibility too. If you move too far forward with stretching, you push yourself into a possible instability, right? It's all about balance. It's not just a stretch practice that we need for our life. We also need a strength practice too. So the two things together keep us whole and strong for our entire being, that we are here enjoying our human experience on the earth. So stay here, maybe one more breath or longer. I'm going to come up, send some of my energy in your direction. I always thank everyone who joins me for all these live practices. my pleasure to lead you through the practice. Hopefully, these practices have been serving you. Please let me know at any time. Probably not during the practice. I don't check in too often. It's hard to be in 5 places at once. So, but I can check in later if you choose to comment while we're practicing, of course. But you can always send me a message prior or after, and I will respond. If there's something that you would like to see in a future practice, or just have questions, it's all good. I'm here for you. Until next time, enjoy the rest of your holiday weekend. Please be outside with nature if you can. It's a wonderful experience. Stare at the birds, right? Take a walk. Until next time, Wednesday if you can, or just next Sunday all night. Namaste.